All right. Welcome back to the Arsenal podcast. I'm very, very glad. I'm very, very glad to have you back. What does Thomas Partey bring to Arsenal? This analysis has been done by the Arsenal website. I've done my own analysis. What I think Thomas Partey adds to Arsenal, and tell me, what do you think? What do you expect out of Thomas Partey in that Arsenal lineup? What does he exactly bring in? Yes, I know he's going to change Arsenal. Yes, I know there are so many things he's going to change in our lineup. But what does he particularly to you? What does he particularly bring to the Arsenal side? I want your comments on this. I want you to tell me. And we are going to be doing this very, very smoothly. I'll be getting in your comments and I'll be looking at everything you have to say. If you want to join the stream, the link is in the comment section. I'll start with the defensive attributes as written by the Arsenal website, and they are saying that Partey is very accomplished when it comes to winning the ball back for his team. His blend of intelligence, physicality, and ability to read the game makes him a nuisance for any opposition player trying to get past him. I hope one of the videos that was really trending so much regarding Thomas Partey was that when he was versing Barcelona, and he was he had become a problem to Lionel Messi. He has that ability when we do not have the ball. Actually, if you look at the defensive players we have at Arsenal, those players that you can mention that stand out when Arsenal loses the ball, how many are they? How many are they? Xhaka, no, he has never done that. That is not what he was born to do. Granit Xhaka is not a defensive midfielder. He's not a CDM. He has not done that even at Borussia Mönchengladbach. That is not what he was doing. We brought him in the EPL because he has he's this tall. He has muscles. Very heavy. So he brought him under Arsene Wenger and put him in that number 6 role. But the truth is he's not another Song Belong. He has not done that, and he doesn't do that. Probably it's one of the reasons as to why he has not performed to the fullest, because Xhaka is not a CDM. But Thomas Partey has those defensive abilities, and as suggested by the Arsenal website, saying that he's very accomplished when it comes to winning the ball back. And I think this is one of the things Arsenal has been lacking. Winning the ball back. You can look at this picture. Reads the danger and stops the counter attack. These are 1, 2, 3, 4 Atletico Madrid players versus 1, 2, 3 opponents, and you can see how he's positioned just in a way that can cut out that counter attack. I think if we can do this, if we can just transfer this to this Arsenal team, it's gonna be a very, very great addition. And of course, according to the website, Arsenal website, they say his defensive positioning is a clear strength, often cutting out passing lanes and halting opposition passes between the lines. Something Arsenal are in need of. I think I'm really happy that the Arsenal website can write this, because we are desperately in need of a player who can actually stop the enemy. You saw that game against Sheffield United. That goal we scored, Mark Goldrick getting that ball through the midfield. It was a hot night through butter. As easy as that. And we conceded such an easy goal. Moving on, still writing about him, the Arsenal website says throughout the 2019-2020 season, he accumulated 28 interceptions for Atletico Madrid. Only 7 midfielders managed more in the La Liga. Wow, that is great. Partey is also very well known. Is also very strong when it comes to tackling, ranking 7th in last season's Champions League after the number of successful tackles per game, 3.6. So you can see what we can expect out of this guy, right? So you can see tackling, and you can see him here running towards his box. I think, and you can see the caption here, is proactive and uses his pace to get the ball ahead of Firmino and stop a potential goal. Okay. Still writing about him. They say his 185 centimeters frame allows him to consistently win defensive duels, whether that be in the air or on the ground. This, combined with his never say die attitude, serves him well when it comes to winning second balls in the middle of the park. His 384 recoveries won in last year's La Liga were bettered by just 10 players. 384 ball recoveries. I think this is one thing that Arsenal really, really needs. Ball recoveries. We are very poor at ball recoveries. Very, very poor at ball recoveries. I think we are one of the clubs, top 6 or top 10 clubs, that lose the ball so much and recover it at a very slow pace. I hope you guys know that. Our statistics against West Ham show that apart from Leno, each player on the pitch lost the ball 10 times. You can imagine such a scenario. When we were playing against West Ham, apart from Leno, all the other 10 players that started on the pitch lost the ball or gave away the ball 10 times. And none of them had 3 successful ball recoveries. Now you can imagine. And that's why when we lose possession, it is always very hard for us to gain it back. So probably with a player like Thomas Partey, that could be solved as well. So smash up the like button and get in your comments coming in. I want to know, should Thomas Partey start against Manchester City, in your opinion? Because Don Mikel, Arteta is very good at putting out new signings. William Saliba is not going to play, and maybe he may think Thomas Partey is not fit. I don't know. So get me your opinion there and tell me what you expect out of Thomas Partey as he joins Arsenal. Okay. The other ability, or what we should expect out of him, is the ability with the ball. So what does he do with the ball? We want to hear that. I know. It's not just defensive attributes that Partey possesses. Despite his large frame, he's incredibly graceful when it comes to carrying the ball. The Ghanaian international frequently glides with the ball, progressing up the pitch with purpose, which will help us in transition. You'll excuse my speed if I'm very fast, but that is it. So again, we have had this problem of balancing between the defense and the attack. And I should say our midfield has been quite empty, useless, because when going forward we have been no threat, and then defensive wise we have not been any threat to any side we have played against in this season. So probably if Partey can do those defensive attributes and then add that little quality going forward. However, if you're gonna expect this much out of him in the Premier League, that means you're gonna put a heavy burden on him. He's gonna get tired very quickly, and that's why all of us were suggesting that if Arsenal could get that creative midfielder, that Haussemawa, that Cesc Fabregas, that Mesut Ozil back onto the pitch, it would have been better. It would have made more sense, because the same player, Thomas Partey, cannot carry the ball forward, and then you expect him to rush at a very terrific speed, to cover up, when we lose the ball. That's going to be so tiresome. And of course, going forward, again, we don't have so many aggressive players. Danny Ceballos ain't aggressive going forward, as well as Xhaka or Elneny. None of them is aggressive. Not even Jose Willock. So that means the most aggressive player going forward in that Arsenal team is going to be Thomas Partey. And again, the most aggressive player defensive-wise in that midfield is going to be Thomas Partey. So that means we have a one-man midfield, which is quite dangerous, because when he gets injured, everything goes back to zero. So here you can see, you can look at that picture, Partey standing here in the lights, highlighted, and then with the caption, receives the ball with his back to play and and beats the press with some clever footwork. Of course, he does that. I've seen his highlights, and I recommend, if you haven't seen him play before, go to YouTube, see his highlights. There are so many Arsenal videos showing Thomas Partey, and Arsenal vlogs showing how Thomas Partey could impact Arsenal and so on. So you can see he has a lot of trickery on the ball, especially when you're going forward. But it's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be a lot of work. If you check that Atletico Madrid midfield, he plays with Saul Niguez, highly talented player, very effective going forward. He has a Hector Herrera. Those are the two players he plays with in the midfield. If you're going to compare that midfield to the Arsenal midfield, you will cry, because you have Xhaka, you have Ceballos and Del Neni. None of them compares to Hector Herrera, and none of them compares to Saul Niguez. That means Partey needs another creative midfielder in that Arsenal team. So still going forward, his 1.6 successful dribbles per game were bettered by just 28 La Liga players last season, a highly impressive feat considering the majority of his appearances came playing as a holding midfielder. So a holding midfielder has 28 successful dribbles. That is impressive, when some of our creative midfielders in the Premier League do not have these statistics. Furthermore, Partey consistently exhibits immense acumen in the build-up phase. He can receive the ball under pressure and distribute it over to the top and between the lines to at a very high standard. We will appreciate if he does that. The 27-year-old falls for the ball to fit often, always wanting to get on the ball and influence the play. He averaged 62 passes per game in Atletico's 2019-2020 Champions League campaign. Impressive given the defensive nature of Diego Simeone's side. I don't know whether Diego Simeone read this, but if he read this, I'm not really sure he's impressed with what really Arsenal wrote. But of course, he had 62 passes per game. That is impressive, because I think having many passes per game, Xhaka and Ceballos, that's no problem. They can pass. Although it's flat passing, we don't pass in dangerous areas, but we can pass. So we have another passer with the ball. We'll come to the the Arsenal again. I agree with Arsenal's writing, because Diego Simeone is practically defensive. When he gets on that pitch, he's this kind of manager that is really, really defensive, and you guys know that. But having a player like Thomas Partey have 62 passes per game in the UEFA Champions League, that is individual brilliance. Like we always say in football, there are things the manager is not going to tell you. I'm going to use a bad example, but excuse me. There is that pass Harry Kane gave to Heung-min Son when they were smashing Manchester United 6-1, the first goal. The manager doesn't teach that, but it's the chemistry and individual brilliance of players that does that. So I think if Partey brings that individual brilliance, it's gonna be interesting. And now you can see Thomas Partey that passing the ball. I think he was looking for Saul Niguez, yeah. And then you can see Joao Felix. I think almost three players could get on this ball. Joao Felix, although his position doesn't look so good, but you can see he could get on it. Diego Costa, although he's a bit far. Then you have Saul in front of him. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, Atletico Madrid's players, and Trippier as well. So I think if he has this to Arsenal, it's gonna be really interesting. He can release Aubameyang, he can release Saka, he can release Tierney, he can release Bellerin. Those are 4 players. He can release Willian. Wow, this is gonna be interesting. And of course, he can also look for those long balls for Alexander Lacazette. And then the caption is Partey sees Trippier's blindside run and finds him with a perfectly weighted, lofted a pass. You can see that pass through the middle. I think he has some hell of thing we have been looking for. Partey doesn't just pass for the sake of it either. He always looks to progress the ball and attempts to find teammates in dangerous positions. He completed an extraordinary 71 progressive passes and 65 passes into the final third in the Champions League last season, placing 7th and 6th respectively. I think this is one thing we need from Thomas Partey: passing in the dangerous areas. Passing in those dangerous areas. One of the things that Arsenal doesn't do is pass in the dangerous areas. I think ever since we lost Mesut Ozil out of this, starting lineup, because at least for him, he had, engaged in 93 goals in 184, appearances for Arsenal. So he was one player that, could, make us go into those dangerous areas, drive us forward. We have been lacking such a player. So if Thomas Partey adds that, then you know what we are talking about. Fitting in, Partey is a manager's dream, given his ability to perform as a holding midfielder or a box-to-box midfielder to an extremely high level, giving Mikel Arteta plenty of tactical flexibility. I don't expect Mikel Arteta to really use him as a CDM. I think he's going to use him as a box-to-box. It might be a 4-2-3-1, or he might actually retain his 4-3-3 and use him as a box-to-box who will have a lot of space and a lot of authority to do whatever he wants. The Ghanaian can slot in a pivot with the Granit Xhaka or Danny Ceballos as a defensive midfielder with ease, often playing in a midfield too during his time at Atletico Madrid. He also has the ball playing attributes and intelligence to play further as a roaming destroyer or box-to-box midfielder in a midfield three. I hope Mikel Arteta uses him in a midfield three, because a midfield two is really just frustrating in the Premier League. If the Arsenal boss does opt to play a back four, Partey is the perfect candidate to play on the right of the midfield three, given his experience as a makeshift right back. In the build-up phase, he can tuck in on the right to allow Hector Bellerin to venture further forward and be utilized as an outlet, similar as how Xhaka, has on the left. Of course, Granit Xhaka plays very well on that, left side of the midfield, and I think that's one of the reasons why he never gets out of our team. So you can see there, Partey, he's carrying the ball forward, and then the captain receives the ball on the edge of his box and dribbles out of the press. Okay. Similarly, he can anchor the midfield as a lone number 6, receiving the ball on the edge of his own box and progressing the play into the midfield third with his passing or dribbling. Only 15 La Liga players made more passes under pressure last season than Thomas Partey, who made 298 passes. His composure under the press means he will fit into Mikel Arteta's philosophy of playing from the back like a glove. Wow. So I think there's so many things that we could expect out of Thomas Partey playing for Arsenal and so on. So many things. So guys, that is particularly what we expect out of Thomas Partey. Just a simple analysis of what we expect out of Thomas Partey. Literally, as an Arsenal fan, there are not so many things I want from Thomas Partey, me as a person. Of course, you have your own things, and I would want to get in your opinion. So if you want to get onto the show, it is as easy as this. I'll put for you a link in the comment section. So please come live. Okay, what I expect out of Thomas Partey is easy. One, like we have read from the website, we have that problem whenever we lose the ball. Whenever we don't have the ball, it takes us tons and tons of time to recover the ball. Whether we are playing Leeds or playing, Leicester City or playing West Ham, you have that problem of recovering the ball. If only we can get, past that trauma, if we can only get past that trauma of losing the ball and finding it hard to recover it, we are just going to be good to go. So Thomas Partey must be adding that quality that Arsenal has lost the ball, but they have someone who's going to hunt it down. I told you what I like about Mikel Arteta's team is everybody looks for that, for the ball when we lose it. Everybody hunts for the ball, but we don't have the exact techniques of winning it back. You can see when we lose the ball, we don't trust. And I love it. I really love it. And this, that's one of the reasons why, Mesut Ozil is going to be, find it very hard, very hard to play that, in Mikel Arteta's team. I'm telling you, it's gonna find it very hard to play in Mikel Arteta's team, because everybody in that Arsenal side hands down for the ball. Ozil can't do that. So if Partey can hunt for the ball, Xhaka can hunt for the ball, and even Ceballos drops back when we lose the ball. So that's why Ozil might find it very hard. So, but we need that. We needed that player who has that tactic to win the ball back, and Partey can just give us that tactic to win us the ball back. Smash up the like button, guys. Smash up the like button. Let us get them to as many as we can. The other thing is the box-to-box thing. Carrying the ball forward. We need that player who can carry the ball forward, not, without passing it. Run through the midfield with the ball as other players, find suitable positions. For example, on the counter. That player who can hold that ball for 48 or 50 seconds, as Aubameyang gets in the right position, as Willian gets in the right position, as Lacazette gets in the right position, and then release it at the right time, at the right time. If we can, I think Partey can also give us that. Then there are times when we are on the attack, and then we cannot actually go forward anymore. I think you guys have seen that. We are on the attack, but we cannot go forward anymore. Again, we need that kind of player. We need that kind of player, who can offer us that fallback option. Where can we fall back? Where can we keep that ball safe? That is another, attribute Thomas Partey can just give to us. So I think he really gives us a lot. He really gives us a lot, and I really, really love him. I'm excited to see him in an Arsenal shirt. I'm excited to see him in an Arsenal jersey. So I want to take your comments now. John Bosco says, update me on injuries in Arsenal. Kosi, we love you. The injuries at Arsenal, of course, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang should be fit by weekend. He had a strain ankle injury, so he must be fit. He must be fit by the weekend. Kiatian is not injured, but he has problems with the coronavirus thing, so probably he can, get better as well. All right. Apart from Tierney, you have, Gabriel Martinelli. Of course, he's coming back, by the end of this year. So we might see Gabriel Martinelli in January. We might see Gabriel Martinelli in January. The first team players, most of them are available. Most of them are available. Of course, the usual injuries. Callum Chambers will be coming back very soon. Skodran Mustafi, who is also set to come back very soon to the squad. Who else is injured? And Socrates, who's also coming back very soon. So most of the injuries we have are not really scary. They're not impacting our first team. But I'll be doing the show. I'll be dropping a video about the team news at Arsenal. So I'm going to be covering all of that. Thank you so much. Yes, he should start against Manchester City. Okay. Thank you for the opinion, Ahmed. Now, I really asked that question because Mikel Arteta has this tendency of, dropping out players, or managers, not Mikel Arteta, but managers have this tendency of dropping out players under these guys that they are not ready. He might say they are not ready. Okay. So if you want to join me, the link is in the comment section. Do that. Just waiting for him to balance the board. All right. This is a Nelson. Says, we're just waiting for Thomas Partey to balance the board. When is the City game? It's coming over on the next weekend. So make sure you don't miss it. Make sure you don't miss it. Coming over in the next weekend. Onyango from UG asking, what is the meaning of no Thomas, no Partey? Just I want to know. Okay. Partey is of course his name was this was something tailored by Arsenal fans. Like, he's called Partey, and they were they were regarding to this kind of thing that without Thomas there is no Partey. Like, without Partey there is no Partey. Actually, at first it was no Partey, no Partey, no Partey, no Partey. Like, if we don't have Thomas Partey, there will be no celebration at Arsenal. That was, that is what it meant. And then Kid Africa says no Thomas, no Partey deal. Okay. I want Partey to start against Manchester City. This is Jibril. Thank you so much, Jibril. And then Ball Jock says, will he start against City? I think he will start. I think he will play against City. Mikel Arteta has no reason as to waver as to why he might not actually bring him. But maybe by the fact that he has been in Africa and he has been, on country, giving in all he can. So, he might need some time to rest. But I think he must play. He should be playing, in my opinion. Yes, Partey should start versus Manchester City. That is Henry Smart. Thank you so much. This is the link. That is the link. If you want to come live, that's the link. I'm expecting your calls. I'm expecting so much of your conversations and ideas. Let's make this happen. Let's hit 12 points. Partey is very relevant. This is Jerry. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wahid. Joseph Mwanji, Oceans, thank you so much as well. Thanks. This is Oloka. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Joseph Mwanji on the stream as well. Much appreciated. He should start to build the correction in our midfield. This is Adeleke. Exactly. We need so many. There are those midfield attributes that Arsenal lacks, and I expect Thomas Partey to give them to us. Yeah, there are those attributes that Arsenal likes, and if we have a player like Thomas Partey, maybe he can add those attributes, and we can become a better midfield. And obviously not the best. How are you doing? I'm doing very well. Listen, I'm doing very well. How are you doing? And how was the weekend? Hey bro, after watching the Leicester and Leeds versus Manchester City game, I think we should not be scared to attack Manchester City. We should play a 4-2-3-1 with Partey, Xhaka at CDM and Willian at number 10. There is this debate, and I think I'm going to be forced to do it. Should Willian play in the number 10 role at Arsenal? If you guys are saying we should play a 4-2-3-1 with Willian in number 10, is it perfect? Is it perfect for that number 10? Yes, he has been drawing in the middle, drawing to the middle actually, from the wing to the middle, so often, showing that, he would want to play in that number 10 role. Now that we have a defensive structure behind him, probably he can try. But still, despite the Leeds game, despite the Leicester City game, I think we should offer a lot of respect to Manchester City, because they're a big team, they have quality in that squad, and they have a big manager. So I know Mikel Arteta is gonna, really give them, a lot of respect. Partey can be tested as an Arsenal menu. Okay. When Partey will run to London Colony. Very soon. Of course, what is actually holding him back is that is the international break. Yeah, he's playing with Ghana. So as soon as the Ghana duty, his duties for Ghana is done, he will be doing very well. He'll be arriving very soon. When is Pablo coming back? Pablo Mari. Pablo Mari must be coming back this month. He must be coming back this month. So we are very, excited to wait for him. This is Patrick. Thank you so much. So guys, basically, that is what I expect out of Thomas Partey. The Arsenal website have written, about him very well. And as a person, I also think it's gonna be this kind of person who's going to add something to Arsenal. I don't know what you guys expect out of him. I want to be honest. I don't know what you expect out of him, but for me, I see him as that player who can give us a lot of things in the midfield going forward, defensive wise, and everything. So give me a call using that link in the comment section. Give me a call and tell me what you think. Man, thanks a lot for what you're doing for us Arsenal fans. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much, Lambert. Thank you so much. Like I said during the transfers, that this is not going to end with the transfer speculation. It's going to continue to January, to the next summer. Even after next summer, we'll be doing this on a daily basis, getting your views, getting your news and views. Because I want to, to interact with the Arsenal community and know what we actually think about our club. Bro, Willian played a number 10 versus Sheffield when Pepe came on, Willian looked like a different player in the middle. In my opinion, it is one of the reasons we scored those goals. He created space for others. Actually, he started that run against. He started that run for the first goal. Yeah, he started that run for the first goal, and I loved it. That Bukayo Saka goal, because he started the run up, and then I think that ball drops to the middle. Aubameyang, was it Aubameyang? I think it was Aubameyang who made that, one pass, and then going through to Heki Bellerin, slotting it back, and then Bukayo Saka heads it home. Yeah, I think I have no problems with the players trying out different positions, especially players that are really talented like William. And I hope you guys are with me. Everybody on the show, 50 people watching. Should William be playing as a number 10? Let's get your comments. Let's get your opinions. Don't keep quiet. Should William play as a number 10 at Arsenal? Let us get in your opinions and see. Thanks, man. This is Suleiman Razak. Thank you so much, Suleiman. Well appreciated. I like the passion you always exhibit on this show. Keep it up, bro. Thank you so much, Emeka. Comments well appreciated and taken. Tell me more about Marcelo Flores. Marcelo Flores. Do I know anything about him? Marcelo Flores. At times you guys are more informed about some topics than I am. Marcelo Flores, here we go. Born in 2003. Okay, Marcelo Flores was born in Canada to a Canadian mother and Mexican former footballer Ruben Flores. His father was the manager of okay. Let me try to look for something for you. Arsenal Rising Star. Oh yeah, I can see. Arsenal's Rising Star, Marcelo Flores, described as the Canadian Craig Bellamy by man who discovered him. Okay, let me just read for you this piece. I'm really sorry. I didn't know this. I didn't know about this man. Marcelo Flores signed a new 5 deal with Arsenal this week, but did not know. But did you know he was described as the Canadian Craig Bellamy by the man who first brought him to England? So he signed his first professional contract, and he's an attacking midfielder with an incredible story about how he ended up playing in England. His father is Ruben Flores, who played for Atlante. Okay, born in 2003. That means he's still a young man. I would like to see our midfield combination as Partey, Xhaka with Mesut Ozil as a number 10. This will give us a kind of creativity we lost in this current squad, but I don't know what is wrong. Every Arsenal fan, all of us would want to see some creativity, some defensive, attributes, and then a box to box, because that should be the nature of the midfield, literally. That should be the nature of the midfield. If you look at how most midfields are lining up, that is how they're lining up. De Bruyne, Fernandinho, and then a Bernardo Silva somewhere. You get it? You have Matic, Pogba, and then a Bruno Fernandes somewhere. You have Henderson, GT Wijnaldum, probably, and Thiago Alcantara somewhere. So that should be the nature of the midfield. But I don't know. I don't know why Mikel Arteta is not really open to using Ozil. By January, Arsenal should be among Liverpool and City in terms of squad quality. Can't wait for Martinelli to play with Saka. The combination always did wonders, especially last season in the Europa League. I loved it. I really loved it. Big up Kosi, Black Excellence in the making. Big up my G. Thank you so much, Clinton. Thank you so much, Clinton. Love, much appreciated. Are we adding another player in this transfer window? We are linked with 2 players closely. One is Emi Buendia from Norwich, and the other is Benrahma, Brentford. So let us see. Let us see. But time is running out. I doubt Arsenal will add any other player there. Yes, man. Willian should play as a number 10 and give Pepe more time. Thank you so much, Razak. The best way to defend is attack. We don't have to be afraid of them. Willian is a number 10. Willian in the number 10 will be best with Partey and Xhaka behind pair Aubameyang, Laka, and Pepe. It will be so hot for City. Let me hope you guys are not underestimating Manchester City's potential and ability, right? Let me hope you're not underestimating City's potential and ability. Let me hope you're putting into consideration that City is still a big club. They are still as big as they were so many years in the making. So please don't underestimate them. But I appreciate the comments. We should switch between Ceballos in a 4-3-3 in some games, and Willian in a 4-2-3-1 in other games. Partey and Xhaka will be the best, like Petit and Vieira from back in the day. This is ASM. So ASM says, we should switch. In a 4-3-3, we should be using Danny Ceballos. And then in a 4-2-3-1, we bring in the man himself, Willian, in the number 10. I would agree, but I'm very pro a starting 11 man. So I want to see us have a constant starting 11 that can play for 15 consecutive games. 15, same tactics, same everything. You just change a little tactics depending on the opponent we are going to face. But I agree with you. I agree with you. Maybe you can try out that. Ozil is done as an Arsenal player. Arsenal is apparently trying to pay him. Yeah, Arsenal is trying to pay him off. We have done this stream, and his possible destination after leaving the club must be Major League Soccer or Fenerbahce, because that is where most of the interest is coming from. And I'm not really happy that Mesut Ozil is leaving the club. I'm not really happy, but there is nothing to do. There's nothing to do. It seems his time at the club is ending. 54 people watching. Smash the like button. Get in the comments coming in. And if you want to join me live, here is the link. If you want to join me live, there goes the link in the comment box. You can join me live and tell me what you expect out of Thomas Partey, because I have a person on the show already, the usual suspect, Dinero.
What's going on, bro?
How are you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Happy UG Independence.
Happy UG Independence, man. 58 years.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Then happy Sunday as well.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Talk to me.
we are anxiously waiting for Thomas Partey to get out of international break. Are you anxious as I am?
Yes. Very, very, very anxious. The only thing is, I don't think the guy will start though, because of that international break, and I'm not sure if Arteta will put him into the team. It's the only thing. As a starting 11, maybe as a substitute.
Yeah, I think that's that would be a big disappointment from for Arsenal fans. And trust me, if Mikel Arteta doesn't use that man in the starting lineup, and then he loses that game, absolutely there will be no excuse for him.
You know what? It will be a problem. The only thing is, I don't know if Arteta would like to give him instructions. Maybe the international break kind of didn't help with the game on Saturday. Maybe he's already given instructions that he wants to give to the players. That Partey hasn't, he's gonna come in fresh. That's the big worry, really.
Yeah, but
But he has to play him though. He has to play him.
Yeah, he has to play. He has to play. We have to see him on the pitch. We have to see him on the pitch as Arsenal fans. We have to see him on the pitch for the first time this coming weekend.
Nah, he has to play,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But there is, we have so many contradicting schools of thought about Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
Some people saying he should play with Granit Xhaka to the right in the midfield, and then Xhaka to the left of the midfield, so that when Tierney and Bellerin go forward, Partey and Xhaka can cover for them respectively. Other people are saying he should be a box to box. Other people are saying he should be a CDM, to protect the back four.
Yeah.
How would you want Mikel Arteta to use it?
That's an interesting one. I think it depends on the game. Because in Atletico, it's clear to see that in some games when they needed a goal, he was more preferred as a box to box midfielder. And then when they play certain teams that are, like Barcelona and so on, he was more of like a CDM. I think it depends on the game really to me. Yeah, it depends on the game. I think he's so good that he can do all of those roles because of his athletics. Because of his athleticism, it's like he could do anything. I heard there was even a point this guy was playing right back.
Yeah,
he was doing a really good job.
Yeah.
So I think it's an interesting one. I'm not sure what he'll be his best position. I just think it just gives Arteta more options, more because he's flexible, and he. So I'm not sure. I'll say both, man.
But I was looking at this thing,
yeah,
and I was like, if he's going to play as a CDM, then you need a good player who can carry that ball back and forth.
Yeah.
Link up very well and create. You need the creativity, but we don't have that kind of player. But if you look at the defensive, the CDM, probably can play him with a Xhaka. We play with them, play him with Mohamed Elneny, and then we could actually use him more, or use him better as a box to box, because for the box to box role, it's really frustrating in that Arsenal team. No one does it like we would want it to be done. So for me, I'm like, if we can use him as a CDM and then stick Granit Xhaka or Mohamed Elneny into the number 6 role, it would be even better.
I reckon so, yeah, because he does more better. According to some analysis on him, he does better, more advanced, like on a box to box midfielder. And apparently, and also there was a stat saying that he had out of the Arsenal team, I think he had the most successful take-ons. I think he had this,
Yeah.
So it shows that he's not scared to take on the ball. And most of his passes are forward. He's not scared to score goals. He shoots. Yeah, man, this guy is gonna be a problem.
Yeah, and that takes me to the question on the show. In the title, what do we expect him to bring to Arsenal? For example, for me, when I was analyzing our midfield in the first 4 games, I was shocked. We have lost the ball. Per game, every player loses the ball 10 times and above, at least 10 times in that Arsenal. Actually, apart from Van Leno, all the other Arsenal players lost the ball 10 times and above in the first 4 games. Then, when you look at winning the ball back, no one won the ball back successfully more than 6 times in a game. Yet we lose the ball 10 times per player. So, what do you think? What do you expect of Thomas Partey? Is it we expect him to win the ball or raise back? You expect him to hold the ball so that we lose. We lose it less often. What do you want to see him do in that Arsenal midfield?
I want him to solidify it. There's so many times where we just get bullied off the ball.
Yeah, yeah,
The mid and also it comes down to as well, like we don't have many like before Gabriel, we didn't have that. I don't know, that ball playing defenders. You've got Tierney, but we had Kolasinac there when we play him. I just think it just gives us more confidence on the ball, more options. Um, yeah, what Partey would do is, boy, I don't know. He's just so good that yeah. I think now teams are not gonna bully us as much as they did before.
all right. Yeah, I mean,
Mm,
it's really
mm,
true.
mm,
It's really true, and I think the bullying, because I really get disappointed when clubs like Leeds, clubs like
yeah.
you know West Brom, clubs like Sheffield dominate our midfield. That makes me sick. That makes me
Mm.
sick, and I hope I can see an end to that. I hope all of us can see an end to that. To that.
I think that's the end because you know what now, yeah, to be fair, our organization has been really good. What
Yeah.
Arteta's done is made us more organized. So and we've shown with the mentality that even before Thomas Partey came that we're trying, you know, we're trying to win every ball. Even when the game is nearly finished, we're still pressing. When Thomas Partey comes, that level is a bit high. That's top four level, or maybe even I'm not even gonna say it. title challenges, but that is gonna bring us to another level because what Arteta's done, he's built the foundation there. We're much more solid. We're not getting bullied as much, but I just think now teams are gonna have second thoughts.
Yeah, I know. Who do you compare him to in the Premier League? Who do you compare him to into the Premier League? Wilfred Didi,
Mm.
Jordan Henderson, Fernandinho. Who do you compare him to the Premier League?
Ooh, do you know what? I think with Thomas Partey, when I watched him properly, like just analyzing him and seeing who is he like. But he's got many of those qualities. He's because he can do what Fernandinho does. He can do what Ndidi does, and he can do what Henderson does. And at the same time, the guy's athletic. He's fast. He's strong. He's quick. Like, I mean, those ingredients that he's got, bro. I don't think there's
Yo,
anyone like him. I
yes,
honestly don't think there's anyone like him. There's probably, you could pull it back and say maybe Patrick Vieira. When you think of him, when you think of a midfielder that is like him, like I mean, is he quite tall as well?
yeah, very tall. He's quite,
Yeah.
quite tall, and actually, that is one of the attributes that have been praised so much about him.
Wow. So you're talking
Yeah.
about aerial presence when it's in that midfield. So we
Mm,
become more dominant.
yeah. And he has very good dribbling. He has a
Yes.
success rate of 1.6, and I think
Told you.
very
See?
good dribbling, very good defensive attributes. I think we got ourselves a hell of a midfielder before we knew it.
One of a kind. And I remember they was talking about the comparison as in, you know, um Our as a one of a kind midfielder. But then when you think about it and you think about it deeply, you look at Partey and you're like, who is like this guy? Right now, who
Really.
is like this guy? Like, who would you say is like this guy?
Now, like if you ask me who's like Thomas Partey, I'm gonna have to look around. Who can I choose? Who can I say?
Yeah.
there are not so many players that have that ability, strongly going forward and strongly defensive wise.
Yeah,
Most of the midfielders that are present in that in football have either one or none of them.
exactly.
Yeah, but
And 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 when you think about it,
yeah,
if you have one of his, if you have a midfielder, what do you reckon? They probably have two of his strengths. They become really good midfield.
yeah,
They're really good. But a guy to have
yeah.
all three, I mean, to tick all the boxes, I mean, that's really scary, man.
Uh-huh. You know, Arsene Wenger say today that
Hmm.
Mikel Arteta should just do away with this kind of being proud. And he said he acknowledges the fact that Mr. Ozil's discipline on the pitch
Yeah.
is awful. He also acknowledges the fact that without the ball, Mesut Ozil is not actually a player you would want to see on the pitch. So he's not very good without the ball, and his discipline is not good. But then he says if Mikel Arteta wants to balance between his defensive and attacks, then he needs to bring back Mesut Ozil into that team. Of course,
Mm.
Arsene Wenger, he signed Mesut Ozil. He worked with him for almost 5 years.
Mm.
He gave him the playing time. Ozil was a good player under Arsene Wenger, no doubt about that. He had a couple of assists. I think he engaged in 93, 94 goals in 180 appearances.
Yeah.
Is Arsene Wenger right? Is Arsene Wenger right? To say
Mm.
Arteta should bring back Mesut Ozil.
I get where he's coming from with that because, but the when you look at it, you got to look at these two managers. Yeah. Now
Yeah,
you look at Mikel. No, you look at Arsene. But let's look at Arsene Wenger. What was his philosophy? His philosophy was, I want you to get on the pitch and I want you to express yourselves. I'm not going to give you instructions on the attacking side. You guys just express himself. Yeah. Ozil thrived on that. He thrived on that because that guy, when he's on the ball, I mean that's art. Yeah, seeing those
yeah, exactly.
passes, those touches, those passes. But now with Arteta, Arteta is a guy who is more on. He's very. He's he doesn't. He's not a guy who would say, "Yo, go and express yourself." He would say, "Listen, I want you to do this, and if you don't do this, you guys are out." Yeah, and I think Özil is not that guy. He's a guy who's more of a free roam, do what you want. When you get the ball, just think of something creative. Yeah. But with Arteta, I don't think he would suit that because Arteta's more of, you guys got to press, you got to do this, you got to do that. Ozil doesn't fit that. And I see why Arteta would not play him. I don't think, I'd say he's right in a way. If it was him coaching, maybe. But I don't think we'll get the best out of Ozil if Arteta's the manager giving him instructions because, he wants him to press, he wants him to do this. I don't think he doesn't, I don't know, man. He's a good player, but yeah, man, he's gone. He'll be
So
finished at Arsenal.
would you prefer using him as a number 10? We're using Willian as a number 10 in this case.
Do you know what? I would prefer Ozil, but the thing is, I don't think I see Ozil there. I don't think, to be truthful, Ozil will be much better for that, especially if we have something that's behind him that's a block, yeah? Granit Xhaka and Partey. But or Granit Xhaka or Partey, but then I don't. Yeah, we're gonna have to put Willian there, man. But Ozil will be my preference.
Okay. ASN says Ozil, Ancelotti got rid of him and they won the UEFA Champions League. German FM mistreated him. United dropped him. Spurs dropped him. Arteta dropped him. I'm not saying he's bad guy. I just support my team. That is ASN. And then Clinton says, what's the highest position Arsenal can finish if things go our way? I think position 3. Position 3. If things go well, I think the highest position we can go is position 2. Position 3. I see United is really crumbling. Tottenham Hotspur, Jose Mourinho, I'm not really convinced. However, he has the quality. Chelsea, they're beatable. They're beatable.
Yeah.
And then Everton. I think that's the competition we have. We can go as far as position 3. What do you think, Dinero? What's the highest position if things go out in our way? How far do you see us go this season?
Do you know what? Yeah, looking at these teams, no one is safe. I've realized no one is safe. I say position 3 when I think about it, but I just have a feeling, man. Teams are slipping up already, and because of this COVID situation where players are gonna be out. When you look at Liverpool, they missed Mane. You know, as soon as Mane was out, when they played Aston Villa, they suffered a lot because he's one of the he's their top presser. But I'll say position maybe second. Maybe second. I don't think teams are fearing Man City anymore.
Maybe second.
Maybe second. Maybe I'm saying maybe.
All
Maybe
right.
second. Don't quote me.
Much appreciated. Barcelona and Real Madrid fans were celebrating when Partey was signed by Arsenal, claiming less competition in La Liga. The only person who can bully Messi anytime, any day. And I think, Dinero, this is right. I think, so many players like Kevin De Bruyne, players like Thiago are going to find so much of problems in the midfield when you have when you face a player like Thomas Partey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I think I should
telling
give
you.
Ozil and William Saliba more playing time. I think Saliba is going out to Brentford, and then
Yeah.
Mesut Ozil's contract, if it's not concerned, then he will leave as a free agent. That is Razak. Clayton says, should we work on signing Tobias permanently? In Spain, he's extremely great on the ball, but he loves us, no? He actually forced Zidane to loan him out by saying he wanted to come back uh, to the club. Should we sign permanent? I think Danny Ceballos' permanent signature should based on what he has done for the team. What is he going to do this season? Let us bet on based on the performances this season. I don't want us to take in a mediocre player because he wants to play with us. I want to take in Danny Ceballos because he has proved to be extremely essential, and we cannot do away with him at the club. That is how ruthless and that is how strong we should be.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dinero? Has Danny Ceballos already convinced us to sign him on a permanent deal, or there is a lot of work for him to do to convince us to retain him?
Do you know what? I agree with that. I want us to be, I want us to see how he performs this season. And
Yeah.
then based upon that, if we get UCL with him in the team and he's contributed a lot, I'll say, yeah, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
So and if we get UCL, oh, and look if you and also when you think about it, the pool to get Thomas Partey is a really, really big thing because certain teams like he just went from a UCL side to a Europa League side. It's a big thing. So imagine when we get UCL, what type of players are we gonna get? So we have to see how he performs this season.
Yep. And I think Mikel Arteta is doing very well in convincing players that he's building a big project at Arsenal because he has really managed to bring in players. Willian from Chelsea. He could have stayed. They have Champions League. He could have stayed, but somehow, because of a contract, 3 years and so on, he managed to bring him at the club. Gabriel Magalhaes from Lille. So many clubs wanted him. He's a cheap quality defender, but he managed to convince him. I think the only player he failed to convince was Thiago, because there was also so much of talks that he was interested in him.
Yeah, that's so true. And when you look at it as well, Willian said he had Chelsea offered him a higher offer, and who else? Gabriel Magalhaes, higher offer as well from other teams as well. So
and Aubameyang.
And Aubameyang.
Yeah.
That's big, bro. And so when you look at that, that's the type of manager you need. I don't think Lampard will be able to do that at Arsenal, to bring
Yeah,
these type of players with this, with this current climate at the club.
exactly. Partey is not that tall. He's 6.1. Xhaka is taller. Vieira was a monster, 6.4. But of course, 6.1, 6.4. And then if you look at Xhaka, do you want him to be like Peter Crouch? But I think that 6.1 is enough to dominate that midfield.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He'll just
Partey is
barge
going
them
to
off the
be
ball.
Partey is going to be to Arsenal what Mane is to Liverpool. We hope so. We hope he can, be that key man. When should we expecting Thomas Partey? I think he should be back by after Wednesday. After Wednesday, he should be back.
Hopefully, we can get a video of him training.
Yeah,
with
because
Arsenal.
let me just look at the Ghana football team. Ghana lost to Mali 3-0 on Friday. And tomorrow, that is Monday, they'll be playing against Qatar. Their next game comes in November. So I think after tomorrow, Thomas Partey will be able to fly back to us. Because Ghana's next game, Ghana's next game is actually tomorrow. At home, versus Qatar. Okay.
Yeah.
Brokamon, don't create problems. Wenger did not say bring back Ozil. He said you can play Ozil if you have a defensive, if you have defensive players around him, but he's too old to build around. So let's leave him out. Truth is, when a big man like Arsene Wenger, a man was spent all the time at Arsenal, 22 years, says suggests the way you would use Ozil. He's literally telling you, bring him back. He is the solution. He is what you need, guys. And I think I agree with Arsene Wenger. I don't know whether Mr. Ozil is old or something, but he has that quality that we need. He has that key that Arsenal needs to unlock defenses. Because there are some teams that are going to play a defensive game 90 minutes. How do you unlock them? You need that kind of player. And I think Ozil would give us that.
100%.
Yeah. How are you, man? I'm enjoying. Thank you so much, Hilary. Thank you so much, Hilary. I'm very good. We are very good here on the show. We have a couple of games, but I'll start with the City game. How do you predict the City game starting lineup?
Ooh. Do you know what? I would like to do with Partey in the team. All right, let's start with the midfield because I'm excited.
I know.
I'll say Granit Xhaka on the left side of the midfield, and then I will put. You reckon? Are we predicting the team? Yeah. What?
Yeah.
How Arteta will play?
Yeah.
Ooh, you start first. You start first. I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Let us do it together. Goalkeeper, of course, it's Leno, I think.
Leno, yeah.
You agree?
Do you reckon?
Yeah,
100.
I think he's going to use a back four this time.
You reckon?
Back four.
Yeah, against City.
Okay. Tierney, left back.
Gabriel Magalhaes, left centre back.
Left centre back. Of course, Gabriel must be in the left centre back. I think Gabriel will partner with Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll Bellerin, right?
Obviously Bellerin. Midfield. A midfield. The two. I think it's gonna be a 4-2-3-1. The two in front of the defense. Partey and Xhaka. Partey in the right midfield. Xhaka on the left midfield.
Ooh. Yeah. That's a bit of, it's a bit of steel there. And then you reckon he'll play Ceballos then?
Tobias.
Mm,
I was going to choose Tobias as part of the three in front. In a 4-2-3-1, then I would go for Willian,
yeah.
Aubameyang, Ceballos, and Lacazette. That's what I think he will do.
Aubameyang, Ceballos, and Lacazette. Oh, do you reckon he'll play like that? That's interesting. I've never seen him.
If he can, if he can play like that, I think only Saka drops out. I think it's only Saka that's dropping out.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he might drop Saka.
Yeah.
But then again, Ceballos has played advanced 10, He's played number 10
Yeah.
before for Spain. But I think he's better as an 8. But we'll see.
Everybody on the show, thank you so much. Make sure you've smashed up the like button and you're giving us your opinion as well in the comment box, because that really means a lot. Hillary.
Yes, my friend.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm very fine.
Yeah.
We are discussing this Arteta thing and talking around it, rows and rows. How would you want Mikel Arteta to use, Thomas Partey?
As for me, I would like that if he used 3-2-4, 3-4-2-3-1 formation. Yeah, if he used in Vince that's in left, we put Tierney and David Lewis, Gabriel, and Bellerin. Then for 2, we use Partey and Ceballos. Then we go back 3. We put Aubameyang, Willian, and Nicholas. Then in front we put Lacazette.
Wow. Thank you so much, Hillary there. Trying to giving us his opinion. He says we want to see a 4-2-3-1. I think all Arsenal fans want to see that 4-2-3-1 position. They want to formation. They want to change from 3-4-3. It's really not entertaining us. The football is not entertaining. The results are there, but there's no entertainment.
Yeah, you could see it, especially with I think with the last game. Was it the last game when you saw a change when he added Pepe on the right?
Yeah.
Pepe on the right, and I think Willian, did he play number 10 or he played as a he played as a number? No, because we eventually switched to a 4-3-3 in that game.
Yeah.
Where William was on the right at the start, and then he brought on Pepe,
and then he switched to middle. Pepe on the wings and the Aubameyang, and then we have a striker in front.
I think that what we did there, the last 20 minutes of the game, that was amazing. When Aubameyang was up front, I think will be a force if Aubameyang plays up front and Pepe on the right.
Yeah, I also want to see more of Pepe this season. I think he has something he has to offer to that Arsenal club, and whenever he comes off the bench, he shows you that there is that quality he has as a player, and we can use it.
Bro, he was putting it. The thing that was frustrating me about the game was he was making really good runs, but they weren't passing. They weren't playing it through, and you could see that he was really frustrated. So once Partey's in the team, he's really good with forward passes. So once he's there, he'll be able to see those runs, and I think we'll see how Pepe will show how good he is, as he did with Lille. If you look at that goal, it was reminiscent to that Lille back in the day when he was playing for Lille, because those are the touches that he was playing, those runs, and yeah, man, he's just once we put him in those right positions, he's a threat.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Lastly, do you think Martinelli is going to get playing time? Do you think Martinelli will get playing time with all this competition? Because I think even though Bukayo Saka has established himself and so on, I think Martinelli is the best young talent in that Arsenal side.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Do you think he's gonna get playing time? I'm really scared for him because there is just a lot of competition, and he is not here to secure his place.
Do you know what? I think he'll get playing time. The reason why is because the mentality of this kid. The guy's a young, like, if you see the way for me, when he grabs, like, when he's on the pitch and we're losing, the guy grabs it by the scruff of the neck. The guy puts in the work. He says, you know what? I'm gonna make this happen. When we need goals, the guy is there. The guy is only what, 18, 19?
Yeah.
Bro, he's gonna, if he's not starting, he's gonna make sure he's starting. That guy mentality, it just reminds me of like I might be making a stretch, but like a Ronaldo. He's kind of reminiscent of that Ronaldo kind of, he puts it into his own hands, and that's what great players do.
Yeah.
At his young age, and as Rio Ferdinand said, he's a one to watch. He's a one to watch.
Yeah.
Nah, I think
Exactly.
Arteta really likes him, man. He'll make his place.
Okay. Thank you guys for being on the show. Interesting. I'll get in some of the comments. We need Ozil in the team. This is a DZ. And then Paul says, let us give Ozil a chance, having missed a while during the transfer window as Ozil replacement. Let's try him since we are paying him number 10 or a backup. Then DZ says nice lineup, but I don't think Arteta will use that lineup 3-4-3. What about Ozil fixture at Arsenal? I'm not really sure he's going to be back on the pitch anymore. Robert says, hello, bro. Thank you for the show. Thank you so much, Robert. Also refusing to take a pay cut due to the pandemic is where his problem started from. Do you think that's a problem, Dinero? Do you think the pay cut is the problem as why he's off the pitch?
Yeah, Tete says that obviously he watches players on and off the pitch. But then where the problem is, he says, you know what, new season, we'll see what happens this season, and players have to earn their spot. So sometimes I think with this Ozil situation, it looks like it's bigger than Arteta. Looks like it's a problem with the board. Which is, I don't know, it seems like, because when you watch the training, like the training videos, you see Ozil speaking to Arteta, they're bumping hands and so on. But when I think about it, I don't think there's a problem between Arteta and Ozil. I just think there's a problem with the board, and I don't know it looks like there's a bigger problem there. Maybe if he plays, that his bonuses are 100k more or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna cost Arsenal more money. Maybe that's where the problem is. Someone suggested it on Twitter, but hey, it might be a bigger problem than we actually think it is.
All right, guys, I'm gonna have to end it at this, but I'm very, very honored and pleased to have you on the show, General. Thank you so much, and don't forget to catch me whenever I come live and we discuss Arsenal matters.
Yeah, bro. No worries, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my bro.
All right, bro. Take care. All right, bye.
It means a lot. Take care as well.
Take care.
So everybody on the show, thank you so much. It has been such a big, big pleasure to have you Arsenal, Thomas Partey, discussing Arsenal matters, digesting the matters around the club. Don't forget, whenever I come live, I'll be dropping a link for you to come and phone in. Tell me what you think about the topic, and then we shall be moving through. Not much of transfer news. That's why I'm not dropping. I've not yet dropped a transfer video, today, but I'll be dropping it later. So there isn't much of transfer news. The bigger things happening is rumors. Sizobalai, you have Awa, you have Brentford's Ben Rama. So just rumors. But still, we have to keep going. We have 5-6 days. The Premier League will be back. So make sure you paid your subscription. Make sure you're set to go for the Premier League. I'm gonna be setting up, but I say I love you so much. Smash the like button. I want to see 300 likes on the video. If I don't get 300 likes on this video, no transfer video show. So make sure if you want the transfer update video, you have smashed the like button already and subscribe to the channel. It's coming shortly.